I'm your host, Donna Cates, and each week we'll dive into powerful stories, expert strategies, and practical tools to help you take charge of your financial future. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating a divorce, or simply looking to build your wealth with confidence, this is your space to grow, learn, and thrive. Let's get started with today's podcast. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to introduce you today to Tracy Worthington, who owns Worthy Coaching Solutions. Thank you for joining us today, Tracy. And I have to say, I love the creativity with using your last name in the business name. Awesome.
Thank, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was actually a little bit of I'm going to call it a great mistake because I was writing something out and I was typing it and I wrote out solutions and it gave me a red line like something was spelled wrong. And I'm like, so, hey, I like that. And so that's how I ended up incorporating that into my name. It was an accident. And I thought that is really good
Awesome.
because that's how I coach is from the soul.
And you know what? This is awesome because it's going to lead right into one of the things that I read in your intake form. But before I go down that path, let me ask you to give us about a 90-second overview of what you do and why you got into that work.
Okay. Well, I really focus and specialize on women's empowerment and mindset. To me, that is really, really important that we all have a good mindset and we feel empowered. And I started my journey really because of personal reasons. I lost my husband in 2008 to suicide, and I had to completely rebuild my life. I had to navigate, the grief, the dating, finding my identity again as an independent woman. And then in 2016, I had another major setback that I did a business deal that went south, and it ultimately ended up costing me my home and having to file for bankruptcy. So my experiences have fueled my passion and my passion for helping other women navigate these types of situations as well and to come out the other side.
Wow. Wow. And I have tremendous empathy for you. And I'm going to tell you the question that I was alluding to. I was going to ask you to share some of your big life pivots because I too work with women who are in a pivotal state. And a lot of the
Mhm.
people that I'm working with are divorcing, widowed, or retiring. So you just had two major life experiences that have really formed what it is that you're offering to other people.
Exactly, exactly. And how better to coach than, having lived that myself and having to reinvent myself a couple of times now. And I'm going to be 59 in May, so, you know, we have to pivot and we have to reinvent ourselves every so often.
And I agree. And I think, we get life lessons or just not necessarily lessons, but life happens. And it's all about how we respond to it. And it sounds like you've been, responsible and just taken charge and, use those as life lessons and helping other people. So that's awesome. So tell me, what do you see in I guess it's a coaching world and the coaching industry. What do you see as a big problem in your industry and what are you doing to solve that?
I think, honestly, I think one of the biggest things I see is a lot of coaches doing cookie cutter type of coaching. And I really approach it differently. I do not do cookie cutter. Everything is custom to my clients and I meet them where they're at and then we grow from there. So I see a lot of coaches that promise quick fixes and they're not really addressing the deep rooted mindset shifts that are necessary for lasting change. And change is not a quick fix. It takes time and it takes dedication to growing and to learning and to focus on that new mindset.
Well, and I think you share something really important because quick fix is typically never the best solution Because if we don't dig down deep and find out what the root cause of everything is, it's just like with medicine, where I mean, most doctors are they're treating symptoms, they're not fixing the problem.
Exactly, exactly.
Appreciate the fact that you're not cookie cutter, that you're actually dealing with that individual where they are. So, and I know that's a thing that you would probably consider unique to you that you do for clients versus what others do. Is there anything else unique about your approach and the way you run your business?
Um, really just like I said, guiding them from where they are right now and really giving them the roadmap to where they want to go. That's really what I focus on.
And do you find that people willingly do the work to make progress?
When people make an investment in themselves, they're invested in doing the work as well. So I have a pretty good process of, you know, really qualifying the client before we move forward because I need to know that they are committed to these changes and to themselves. Because otherwise, I can't help you if you're not committed to doing the work yourself.
And I could totally relate that with that as well. I have people, I engage in financial planning, and a lot of times when I share the cost, involved in this process that can make a significant impact on people's financial well-being, they're kind of like, oh no. And I'm like, yeah, you might have to invest a little bit, but it is an investment. And that's the key
Yes.
that, so if they're working with you, they've pretty much come to the table saying, I'm important and I'm investing in me. So they're committed. You find that to be true?
Yes. When they have to pay, they are committed. And, you have to have that commitment to yourself. And you have to understand that investing in yourself is investing in your future. And whether that's, financial planning with a coach, I'm going to give them the tools that they need to grow and to make their life better and hopefully move into a better paying job or start their own business or whatever it is they're interested in doing. That takes a financial commitment to learn how to do these things.
That's right. So tell me a little bit about the industry and where you see it going in the next 5 to 10 years, and how you're actually staying on top of that to be more progressive.
Well, I mean, I see that the coaching industry is really moving more towards a holistic type of approach, sort of like where mindset meets lifestyle.
Ooh.
So, as women continue to break barriers and redefine what midlife is to them, there's a greater demand for personalized and transformational coaching. So, for me, I am continuously refining my programs. I'm embracing all the digital tools that are out there because there's a lot of them out there, but they're so great in helping you grow and build your business. And creating online courses that meet women where they are, and of course, my ever evolving journey to stay relatable and authentic to clients.
Now, I'm curious, do you do group coaching for folks, or do you do primarily individual, or a little bit of both?
I do both. I have one-on-one coaching, which is, that is custom coaching.
Mhm.
And then my group coaching is more structured. So, because everybody's in a different place when we're in group coaching. So it's a more structured container versus my one-on-one coaching, which is customized for each client and their needs.
Mhm. And I have to say your work parallels mine, because I have some people that will come to me, they're all in and ready to do their own thing, but others kind of need to tiptoe into the group thing to see what it's all
Yes.
about. So I like
Yes.
having that.
And I think it also depends on the person. I personally love group coaching. For myself personally, I still have coaches and I enjoy being in masterminds and group coaching because I love the energy that the other ladies bring to the group. But sometimes when I need something really specific, then I hire a coach and I do one-on-one coaching. But I love the energy of group coaching. It's fun.
Yes, I agree with you there. So tell me, I know you've already shared a couple of challenges, life challenges that you've had, but what would you say is the biggest challenge that you faced thus far in this point in your life, whether it was personal or professional, and how's that shaped the way that you're doing business?
Oh my goodness. I think after after I had to file for bankruptcy and I lost my house, that was a really, really pivotal moment for me in my life because, the first thing you always feel is shame. And I had to remind myself with the tools that I have used over the years and learned over the years from, being coached, that our past does not define us. Everybody can come back from it. So, I tell my clients, your past doesn't define you, it prepares you. So that prepared me for being able to move forward and, really take a look at my life and what I wanted to do. And I realized that coaching was really, I've I've always been in the beauty industry. So I have transformed women from the outside to make them feel better on the inside. And now I'm transforming from the inside out. So, that's kind of how I run my business. And, I really like to nail home that your past does not define you, it prepares you.
Yes.
And those have been some of my biggest lessons.
And that's very empowering. And I think we all need that gentle reminder every now and then when we get stuck in the
Yes,
weeds. Well, if you could have lunch with
absolutely.
any one person, living or deceased, who would that be? And tell me why.
I would love to have lunch with Jamie Kern Lima. I met her once briefly at an event, and we have such similar backgrounds in the beauty industry. We both faced, significant challenges while building our beauty business, including, both of us have been on QVC. And her journey of resilience in building It Cosmetics from the ground up, she really broke barriers as a female entrepreneur, and that resonates with me. So I would love to sit down with her, um, hear her insights and her firsthand how she was able to push through all those setbacks to create something so impactful.
Wow. And now I'm curious. I'm going to have to go do some Googling for the QVC and see if I can find you.
Oh, I don't know if you'll find me. That was back in 2000 and I believe 2007, 6 or 7. So I don't know if you can still find that or not.
Right, right, right. Well, and it would be fun to see in any event, but that's awesome.
It would be.
So tell me, if people want to work with you, learn more about you and the work that you do, where can they contact you, or what's the best way to reach out?
Well, they can always go to the website, which is worthycoachingsolutions.com. And from there, they can schedule a free empowerment call with me. And, we can kind of talk about what their goals are, what they're looking for, and how I can help them. So that's probably the best way is just go straight to the website and they can schedule a time that works best for them. But of course, they can follow me on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn.
And I'm going to take advantage of that as well. So, and I have to assume that you can work with people basically anywhere since you're able to do virtual work. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Okay,
Yes.
great. Well, thank you for being a guest today. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you, Donna. I appreciate being here with you.
I hope today's conversation left you feeling inspired, informed, and ready to take the next step in your financial journey. Remember, building wealth isn't just about money, it's also about creating a life that aligns with your goals and values. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with the women in your life who deserve financial empowerment too. Until next time, stay confident, stay empowered, and keep building the life you desire.